Hello everyone and welcome to my channel where I go over daily price action of the stock market. My trading philosophy is you should be good with news but better with price action. I will try to post videos here regularly and provide my analysis of the markets. And what a day we had today. We had Qs jumping, SPYs jumping, IWM jumping, wicks tripping, and everything else to add the excitement. Today we have quite a few things to go over. So let's do this. Alright, so let's get going with the markets. So let's start with the SPY. So in my last video, I was talking about this consolidation here and the possibility of having a dead cat bounce, which we clearly did. As you can see here, this was the area of consolidation. So here we started seeing buyers right here. And today, as you can see, we had a strong move up. So the buyers piled up right here. And today we had an amazing green day, but still, I don't think we are out of the woods. As you can see, this is still in a downtrend, and until we get the bank situation contained, we are still not out of the woods. Nasdaq, look at this. I mean, talk about a power move, absolutely destroying all the bears. With this wick, we started this big upward move, and this was fueled by the fact that we don't have banks in the Nasdaq. And to be honest, I wasn't quite convinced if this was a move that will drive us up, because I mean, I know we had like 3 consecutive green candles, which is the 3 white soldiers pattern. I was looking at this zone, and as soon as I saw this, I was thinking that this could lead to the next lower leg down. But then Qs, they held up right here, and this was on March 14th. And the fact that this will remain uninterrupted from the banking havoc that's going on right now, it just took up a bullish trend like no other. And Tuesday, March 14 was one of the most confusing days for me, because talking about the patterns on the hourly time frame, I thought that this was a complete move. This was a rally, this was a base, and then we broke out for a rally. Let's move to the 15 minutes. So right around here, we started rolling over. And this candle had me convinced that this was the next move down. I was expecting something like this to happen, where we had a power move up and then we just rolled over and we would have a leg down. But to my surprise, this zone held quite well. And right at the bottom of this zone, we started seeing the bull action. And full disclosure, I was in the puts right here, and this in the last 45 minutes completely wiped out my profits. I held along all my positions. I sold half of them. Never do that, folks. That's a really bad practice. But then I got really lucky next day. This doesn't happen to me quite often, but then I was in my puts, and then there was the news about the Credit Suisse turmoil, and we just dropped like a hot potato. On Wednesday, March 15th, and the market was about to open, I was seeing this bear flag form. Usually when the markets go bearish, it just tends to roll over. So we go down faster than we come up. That's why the saying, we go down in an elevator and take the stairs up. But due to bank fiasco, Nasdaq became a new safe haven to park your money into. And so everyone piled into Nasdaq, and we had an up move, a powerful up move. So as soon as the market opened on Wednesday, I closed all my shorts. I got out completely, and I just waited for the next move from the markets. And lo and behold, it worked for me, because then the Nasdaq shot up. I hit this candle. This was out of nowhere. And then we went into this zone, we paced out, and as expected, we had almost a hammer candle pushing up. And today was a wild ride up. Like today was that there was no stopping Nasdaq. Now I don't expect this to just break to the upside and then complete this pattern, which is a rally and a base and a rally. You never know, anything can happen in the stock market. But I'm definitely watching for a rejection right here. And sometimes it's the way you get into a direction rather than where you are at. And right now we are at a critical point in a solid move up. So if this were to gradually dip down and come here, this could be a good dip buy to have our next move up, to see if we can break this level. Okay, so enough about Nasdaq, this crazy bouncer. Let's talk about Russell, the small caps. And as you can clearly see, this is in an impulsive downturn, and it is bear flagging right here. So today, although we had quite an action from SPY and Qs, the IWM, it was green, but only to add to a bear flag pattern. So I would closely observe this flag right here. to know what would be my next move. Look at these wicks though. Let me just draw a quick line right here to know that we are approaching critical levels. Let me make it a little darker. Wix is moving up only to be hammered and crushed down. And we are already in the bear market. So if this were to start a new capitulation, then I would be looking for some moves where we still hold above 20 and then we start going up and then we start shooting up because Wix can do this. And from the move I've drawn, this is nothing for Wix. As you can see historically, Wix can go wild, it can go crazy. And if one gets into Wix in time, they can make a lot of money. If you talk about March 2020, this was a flash crash. This was like sell everything, just throw everything out of the window, including the kitchen sink. And this recovery was thanks to all the Fed printing. This was when the Fed money printing machine went brrr. And now we are seeing this correction. But look at this flash crash versus the crash that we are having right now, or the bear market that we are having right now. It's gradual. It's like slow death. We're taking our sweet time to go down. And that is what has kept VIX so calm. So, but talk about today. So you take AMD, this was an astoundingly strong move up. You look at Nvidia. Now these were the major drivers of SMH. SMH, which is the semiconductor ETF. This is one of the factors that has held Nasdaq up so well. Now, having said all this, one thing's for sure, we have a very important event coming next week, and that is FOMC. Now, this has the power to break down the markets as no other. We are expecting a 25 basis point move, but Fed Chairman Powell could come in and just completely obliterate the market. He could announce the 50 basis point move, and this market is going down like a red river. And one thing to note here is that Nasdaq can most certainly get affected by the Fed interest rate decision because this will drive the growth stocks. Now, whether we have priced in the 25 basis point or not will depend on how we get there. These are some of the things bears get excited about. When we go up in a straight line, there is always a scope of correction. And when we are in correction, if there are not enough bulls to push it up, and if we have a bad news catalyst, then this can break into pieces and we can move down. So for those who don't know, this is the Nasdaq futures, and that's why it looks a little bit different from triple Qs. In my opinion, we have had our upside for the week. On the weekly time frame, SPY looks nothing special. But Nasdaq though, for now, Nasdaq is looking pretty bullish. Let's wait for some more price action. Today we are going to do something special. We are going to go over the technical analysis of the crypto for all you crypto enthusiasts out there. So I have traded crypto in the past, and let's go over. So the one that I was playing was Solana, which had an amazing price action. Crypto has this tendency of going really, really wild. And the time that I started playing into crypto was when it was completely drained, when it was oversold, especially Solana. And what I was watching for was a nice wick on the downside. So as soon as I saw this, and then a completion of a green candle led me to believe that this could be a good situation for recovery for Solana. So I started accumulating it here somewhere around 17-ish. And then when it broke down, but it wasn't able to break down all the way, and we started seeing this stabilization. And we don't need to be on the daily or weekly for crypto. This moves really fast. And Solana, as soon as it broke the $15 level, I was pretty certain that this is going to make at least the halfway back up, which it did. And these were some of the easiest moves. You see a breakout of the $15 level, staying up right here, hovering over $15. And if you just hold with a stop loss below this trend line, you would have a great move up. And that's what I did. So as it went up, I started taking my profits, and right here, when it was churning, I just took all of my profits here at around 23. And then I kind of forgot about it. Now let's talk about Bitcoin, the mother of all crypto. So Bitcoin and Ethereum, these are the two. And so I just changed it to the dark mode today. So let me change the color so that they are visible. Okay, so Bitcoin is looking very bullish right now because of the bank run and all the bank scandal situation that's going on out there. People are getting skeptical about banks. And so crypto is having a bid, a nice move right here. And ever since I was playing crypto, I was just watching this level, this yellow level, because when it was coming up, when I was playing Bitcoin, I had entered Bitcoin. Let me change the color right here so you would be able to see. So I was waiting for this zone to break. This is usually how a power move comes about sometimes. This was a vicious buying by some whale out there, and I was just watching this move. Although I got in very late, but I didn't think that this was kind of sustainable until it just broke through this like knife on butter. So when this broke and when it was bull flagging right here, I wasn't sure that it would be able to break out of 25k because of the fact that we have very strong resistance right here. So as you can see, we had a drop, base drop, and then we had almost like a dead cat bounce right here. So these drops makes this a support because we were still able to hold this level. And then we went up and we gave up around 24, 25k, right? And traders love whole numbers. So 25k was a pretty nice whole number that we could hold on to. As soon as we saw this rejection, I thought that this drastic move would not be able to sustain and we are breaking down from here. So I had sold a few Bitcoin right here. But then as soon as I see this hold up and continuing to bull flag, I got back in right here. And then I rode up all the way. And this usually is a very powerful sign that this is a bull flag still to continue. Until we came into this zone, that is when my confidence gave up, and right here somewhere I just sold all the Bitcoin that I had. Ever since then, I have not owned Bitcoin. And look at this, as soon as the bank narrative came in, it just went for it because everybody is skeptical about the banks now. So all of a sudden, the tech stocks and Bitcoin, which were the most hated, became the safe haven for people to park their money in. So that is the story that's going on right now. So if we had a drop from, let's say 25k, which is where it is right now, all the way to, let's say 21.5, 22-ish, and if this were to just hold right here, and if we start going up, I would be a buyer. But while going up, if we had a drastic move down, I would have a tight stop loss because I don't want to go down with the Bitcoin. I'm still a buyer at this level, and it would only make sense for the traders to drop it down below 16k, just trigger all the stop losses, touch this line, and then swiftly move up. So that would be like a dream scenario for me to trade Bitcoin. Anyway, the final word would be, I'm still watching this. This is a powerful move up, and with the way things are going right now with the banks, I think this could be a bull flag to go into this zone right here and then form a bull flag right here to make a strong move up at about 31k. We have one more special as far as the trading is concerned. Wow, 2 specials in one video? Not a bad deal at all. So everyone, meet natural gas futures. This has been absolutely obliterated. Now, I don't care how bearish you are, but if you are on weekly and if you go to relative strength indicator, and if you see the setup like this where it's weekly, the RSI hits 30, or if it pierces down and goes below 30, it's a sure shot buy for me, or at least reliable stocks. And if Qs or SPY or IWM goes to this level, I would be lapping it up. I would go on a crazy buying spree. And I was just watching this here for natural gas. And if you look at daily, let's close the relative strength index. So if you look at daily, this bear flag was forming. I drew this zone. I wanted this to have a final breakdown to squeeze out all the bulls and then start having green candles like this. So this was a clear indicator for me to get in. So as soon as I saw this, I got into a position, and then it was almost like an N pattern, as you can see here, that the bulls just pushed it up all the way here to 2.3, and then we started coming into this zone. So I was expecting some sellers to show up, but surprise, we just gapped up and we started going for it. And then usually when I see this slow grind up, okay, some people might just say that this was a rising wedge which was meant to be broken down. I didn't think so because this was already beaten down to multiple year lows and we are trying to hold this. So I'm watching this zone. I'm still in my position. I'm watching this zone to see if the bulls have the conviction and the strength to push this and go to at least this level. So let me draw a line right here. This probably would be the level where I start taking my profits. Traditionally speaking, February has been the worst month for natural gas. So this is what I'm watching out for. See if it can hold this zone. And if it breaks this, I might take a small loss and get out of this position until we go back above this zone. So this was my analysis for the natural gas. Oh, and by the way, I play BOIL. That's BOIL. This is what I'm into right now. So this is like a 2x leveraged. So there's UNG, which is the United States Natural Gas Fund. And you can be either in this shares or you could be in BOIL, which is the 2x leverage for UNG. And you can put down in the comments below if you want me to go over the leveraged ETFs, because I have plenty of information to give you about the leveraged ETFs, why they are best for an anticipated big move up or down, but why they are really bad as far as the investment is concerned or holding them for a long time is concerned. So finally, to wrap up this video, let's go back to SPY. As you can see, even in the futures, Nasdaq is holding up really nicely. And the chances are, until we get this bank run mess cleared out, I don't see us going above this level. And Nasdaq can have one more green day, but I think that we are entering quite a resistance here at Nasdaq. So let me draw one more zone before we leave, which would be somewhere around here. Because every time we have crossed this level, we met giant bears that brought this down. So this zone is bigger than usual. Let's go on a 4-hour chart and see if we can make any adjustments. So we had nice consolidation here, and let me remove this line. I don't need that anymore. So we had really nice consolidation right here. We had a heavy rejection right here. And then again, we had another rejection right here. So this zone is filled with bears. I think we hit a snag right here and do some sort of a pullover or a pullback to either have a next leg up or wait until the next week where we have FOMC and Sir Jerome Powell could just come in and break the back of Nasdaq. So that wraps up this video. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and write comments to let me know how I can better my channel or what you would like to see. And I promise to provide the best and the latest content from stock market, as this is my passion. See you all later. Peace.